The next stop is On the Radar Radio.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, baby. On the Radar Radio. Yo, special guest in the building. Young D3mz in the building. How are you today, my brother?
What up, what up, what up? I'm good, my bro.
So we're talking about the ways that different people like mispronounce your name. Because even after you told me your name, I still said D3mz by accident, like before the interview even aired. But GQ told me it's like a New York thing that people say D3mz. Why? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know either. Cause every time someone I introduce myself to someone, they're like, "Yo, is that D3mz?" I'm like, "Nah, it's D3mz." But you know, like that's why there's a 3 in my name, because in my country, when you see a letter that looks like a 3, it's eh, so it's D3mz. That's what it's pronounced as.
Gotcha.
In our native language, chi, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Ghana.
Yeah, Ghana.
Right. So, but GQ. Wait, so I just learned something new. So when you see a 3 in Ghana, it's pronounced.
Well, a letter that looks like a 3.
A letter that looks like a 3. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pronounced like it has like a, what's the sound?
Eh.
It has like an S sound, so it's D3mz.
D3mz.
Wow, I just learned something new today. I didn't even know that. Okay, so is that part of like the native dialect, or is that part of like, how's that?
Nah, that's like part of like the native alphabet of the language Chi.
Gotcha.
So like that's the language predominantly spoken by like Ghanaians in general, you know, by the Akan tribe. So
Right.
yeah.
So it's a cool little way to also like include your heritage into the name as well.
100%. And also like 3 is very significant as a number to me. You know, like my last name, Kofi, starts with a C. That's the 3rd letter of the alphabet. You know, I'm one of 3 children. It's like every time, you know, I was born on 3rd May.
Right.
You know, so I always see 3s, so I just like the 3 just to be there. You know.
So the 3 always had that significance.
Yeah.
You know what I actually found out today too, because I did my first episode of like this Amazon radio show today, and my co-host Nyla, she went to Ghana in December. You know what I'm saying? And she had like this whole spiritual journey out there and like this trip and learning a lot. And she told me like how people, and I didn't know this, and GQ never told me this either, which I think is crazy after all the months of GQ bringing artists out here, is that like certain names are given based on the day you were born. So I learned that Kofi is Friday, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I learned 100%. Kofi is Friday today. No, you did. GQ, you never told me that, bro. Yo, bro, on my mama, you never told me that. I swear to God, you never said that to me. So I learned that today. I thought that was cool. And then Nyla was like, "Oh, we got to get you your name."
Yeah.
I got to figure out what day I was born, but that's cool. I never knew that either.
Yeah, I'm a Monday born, so I'm Kojo.
Okay, got you.
You know, so it's like everyone has a name like that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, every single person.
So how did you get like aside from the 3, how did the artist name come about?
Oh, since like a young age, because my first name is Edem. You know, it's an Ewe name. That's the tribe I'm from, and everyone used to call me like Dem or Dem-Dems. You know, as a little funny nickname when I was a kid.
Got you.
So obviously when I got older, my friends would shorten it to D3mz. When they found out I was doing music, they were like, "Hey, Young D3mz, young," you know, just as a funny little rapper name, as just a joke, and it stuck. Like I remember one time I was in the studio, and one of my guys was about to drop a song on SoundCloud, and we didn't know like what name they should use for me. And someone was just like, "Man, just use Young D3mz, bro." And everyone was like, "Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense." And that was it.
And D3mz just stuck.
Yeah, it just stuck.
Oh, and then you just like, all right, this is the artist.
Yeah, all right,
were you making back then when people like, when you had the little nickname or whatever, and then as you got older, like, were you starting to like produce back then? Were you starting to make music back then? Like, how old were you when you first started making music?
I downloaded FL when I was like 11. But it didn't make sense to me, so I deleted it like a day later.
I feel you. I felt it didn't make no sense to me either. That's why I do podcasts.
But like I joined a church band when I was like 13. You know, my dad thought it would be a good idea for me to train that way. And then I played bass for a while. Then from there, when I was in high school, I started to mess around with the software again. I used to see videos of Metro Boomin, Kill Beats, Scott Storch, and I was like, man, I could do this too. And then from there, you know, I developed my producing a bit, and then after that, I started becoming my own artist like 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you were producer for, it's fun. I like how you mentioned Metro, Kilby, and Scott Storch.
Yeah.
It's a very wide variety of like production like idols too.
Yeah.
Who do you think you took the most from? Well, not took the most from, or who do you think kind of influenced you the most out of all those, the ones that you just mentioned to me?
And I'd say definitely like the person who was most critical to me becoming a producer was Metro. Which is funny, because like I have other producers that I really look up to, you know, like Pharrell, Max Martin, Kanye, Yeah, there's so many, but even Party Next Door. But like Metro made it cool back then to be a producer. Like everyone was getting the headbands and throwing that
Facts,
little,
yeah.
it was Metro, man. Like, you know, it was like our generation's like Scott, basically. Yeah,
It's a good way to put it.
yeah.
You like Metro's new album?
Yeah, it's fire, man.
I need Metro to do some more Afro beats on his shit, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, man, Metro tap in, bro.
I feel like he had like
Yo.
not that he had it, but he had Wizkid on the last project, on the first project.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was kind of hoping for not like another Wizkid song, but I was hoping for like another, you know, something, whether it be with like, you know, a Burner Feel, somebody from out there to do it on this project. But it's not like he hasn't also kind of touched that world too.
Yeah, I mean, I get it too because I feel like you truly understand the sound when you come down to, you know, the motherland itself. And you experience the people, you feel the vibe. It's not really a sound you can replicate very easily unless you're like immersed in some kind of like environment. You know?
Right.
You can hear it, you can hear the beats, you can hear the melodies, you can understand the lingo, but you can't spit it the same way if you don't get into the lifestyle.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
You gotta feel it.
Yeah, you gotta feel it. So I get it. He probably should just take a trip, and he might get it after.
He might do his next album might be a whole Afrobeat album.
Yeah.
So with you kind of taking like the center stage and becoming the artist, like was that always kind of the plan to go from producing to then eventually like making the music yourself as well?
Actually, not really. I wanted to be like a songwriter. So like I'd be in the studio and I'd be like, okay, you should write these lyrics, put it down this way, and you know, show them who to record, and then I'll make the beat. But then like somewhere in between that, I ended up like recording the songs myself.
Right.
And then they sounded good, and people were like, man, you're good. Just put it out. You're your own artist, you know? And then like when I would try and show people my songs, and just the way I would perform it, they would be like, nah, bro, you've got something, man. Like, you shouldn't be a songwriter. You should be an artist. Like, you should be on stage, you know, controlling the crowd, everything.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And then the rest was history.
History, bro.
And then you worked with some pretty incredible people. Like you worked with Quincy. You know what I'm saying?
Quincy out there.
Shout out
That's my
Quincy.
bro.
How did you? So you and Quincy, do y'all go way back, or is it more like of a recent past?
No, actually, that's my bro from a long time. Like there was a point where I wanted to quit music, and Quincy pretty much convinced me not to. You know, I was like in another studio somewhere else trying to finish up this project with another artist, and somebody from his studio came and saw what I was doing, and then they linked me to him. And then we had a couple of studio sessions, and we just connected. So we worked on many records, and some of his biggest records are actually produced by me. You know, and like I'm proud of him because like it wasn't even just about the streams and stuff. Like the moments we shared in those studios, those were very like essential to me becoming who I am today. So, you know, definitely that's my bro.
What's your favorite record y'all did together?
Ooh, it's a tough one. There's this record called Turn On The Lights. I feel like that one got slept on heavy. Oof.
I feel like it's always the one that you like that is like the slept on record. That is the one that you say slept on is always the one that like is your favorite, and the one that you maybe dislike the most.
It's probably everyone else's.
Is like the most popular one.
Yeah.
Not saying you dislike any of the records, but obviously there's a hierarchy of like my favorite to my least favorite that we've done, and then the least favorite is one that everybody else likes, and then like your most favorite is the one that y'all like.
Exactly. And like sometimes you make a record and you're like, man, this the one. This is it. But like the reception, people like it, but it's like they don't get why you like it. You know what I mean? And I think that's just one of those records for me. Like I like it more than anyone else does. I think we made it more for ourselves than anyone, but that's all it's about. So
right.
Yeah.
So you said that he convinced you to not quit music. Why did you want to quit music?
I was on my way to go to law school back then, you know, and I got admission to university and everything, but I wasn't feeling it. Like deep down, I really didn't think it was a good idea for me to go to law school, just because I didn't think the environment was a fit. You know, I like being around creatives, musicians, like rebels. You know what I mean? Like in that sense. So when he told me that, nah, bro, come produce for us, we got you. He didn't tell me to drop out, but like obviously telling him like me to be around was like the catalyst for me to say, nah, fuck school. You know, for lack of a better word. So yeah. So after that, you know, I was like, okay, I'll stay. And then after we made like 2-3 records and I saw the reaction that we were getting, like the plays we were getting, even on like just at that time, SoundCloud was like the thing. It was crazy for us. So I decided not to go back to law school. I was like, nah, good.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you didn't go to law school, man. got the law school type fit on though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm sure my mom wouldn't be too happy to hear that.
Your mom, like you here doing music, but you also got like a law school type fit on. Aside
Oh
from
yeah,
that.
no, you know, this is my steez. You know what I mean? I gotta pull on a vest
Put
every
that
once
shit
in a
on.
while. You know, put that shit on. You know what I mean?
Why you feel like you gotta put the vest on?
I don't know. I feel like it's like I dress like my background and what my sounds are like. I'm like I went to boarding school,
Okay.
but like even though my parents are like not like rich, I went to like a rich people boarding school back home.
Okay.
So I was surrounded by a lot of like prep school boys and stuff. So it's not really my mood, but like
You feel like you adapted some of the preppy vibes.
exactly, you feel me? Yeah.
You know what kind of reminds me of is like Darko. Like how Darko dresses. Darko vibes be having like a little.
Oh yeah, I know that guy.
He be
Yeah.
having like a little preppy vibe to him too sometimes.
Yeah, you know, yeah. I don't know, it's my mood. So
But you swagged it out. You
Yeah.
feel me? Like it's not like you
Got
know what I'm
the belt
saying.
and everything,
It's not
you
like
know
you
what I mean?
you don't look like you going to school, man. you look like oh I almost went to law school, but I'm too fly for that shit. So I'm gonna wear the law school fit. I'm gonna do this music shit.
yeah. Plus, it actually like helps me stand apart because a lot of guys who do what I do, like the kind of music I make and everything, they don't really always look like this.
Yeah.
They kind of have a more like a rapper or R&B artist look. So when I step into like a building and then people are always expecting like to what I'm gonna do, you know,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they're not really sure. This guy looks like, you know, he sings about butterflies and shit, and then you know they hear the stuff that comes out of my mouth and they're like, damn.
Man said butterflies and shit. I'm crying. But I love that for you. Are you still producing that for other people, or are you mostly just focused on just kind of being the artist yourself right now?
Yeah, I'm getting back to it. I felt like I got lazy, so I've been trying to adapt the producing back into my lifestyle a bit more. Like getting into the studio with people and like, you know, just maneuvering the sessions still as a producer, even sometimes as a writer.
Okay.
I think like there's a point where you have to learn that you can't always be that person in the room. Sometimes you just got to be the producer because, you know, you got to respect an artist and the space and their creativity and, you know, allow them the room to do it. But other times too, like the writing skill comes in handy.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I just learned when and when to turn it off and on. So yeah.
Tight. So what's coming from you this year? What do we got cooking? What else is on the way?
Man, I've been working on this like EP for a couple of months now. Took different trips to different places to make it. I went to Lagos to work on it a little bit, you know, and it's like R&B, pop, Afrobeats fusion project, you know. It's my baby. I've been working on this for a while, and I'm just excited to bring it out. It's like 6 songs, all a perfect mix of, you know, the current vibe right now coming out of Africa, but just my Ghanaian interpretation of it. You feel me? And you know, I can't wait. I'm so psyched. Like, forget all my old shit. This is that moment right now. Yeah.
That's fire, man.
Yeah.
So when we get the EP?
Before the year ends for sure. I can't promise on like when because you know we gotta do a couple of things before it comes out. But I would love for it to come out during the summer.
Tight.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
And what's the song? What song we performing here today? It's an unreleased joint.
No, it's actually a release.
Oh, it's a released joint.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a
GQ
release
said it
joint.
was unreleased. My bad.
No worries.
What song is it?
It's called Day for Me.
Fire.
It's on my first EP, Young. You know, it's just some real shit. Just some live shit.
Word, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you being here. The EP's coming out soon. By the time y'all see this, performance is out now, so make sure you go check that out. Go run that up. Before we get out of here, anything else you want to let the people know, where they can follow you out, all that good stuff? Now is the time to do it. This camera right here.
Yes. My name, first of all, is YUNG D3mz. That's how you spell it on everywhere. So go get me on Spotify, Apple Music, Audio Mac, all that. And also on Instagram, on Twitter. I love everyone who's supporting right now. Please stay tapped in. We got a lot more coming.
Word.
Love.
There you go. Well, make sure you go check out everything he has out now. EP on the way. Performance out now, so go check that out. Go follow him. Go show him some love. Go show him some support. Young Dems on the radar, not Deems. Tap in. Ghana in the building on the radar. We out. Bow. My God. Love.
Love, bro.